What's going on, guys? This is Purgatory, and I'm bringing you a review of the DLC 3 of World War II Call of Duty. And today we're just going to be talking, for this review, and for this review I'm going to be talking about the 4 multiplayer maps that we got. And for a separate video, we're going to do the Zombies, the Tortured Path review. That's just what I want to do, and I feel like that will be a great way to do it. Also, I'm going to provide some feedback on the brand new Cavalry division that has been added to the game that is free for all players to play, and if you prestige it once, you actually get a free gun, which is actually pretty cool. You'll see in the gameplay behind the screen. You should, at least. I don't think you will. But you did see the gun in the other, when I first showed the other gameplays, but this is separate gameplay from what I'm showing right now. Anyways, we're going to get started with the first map, that is Market Garden. So, Market Garden is possibly, maybe my second favorite map of the DLC. It takes place in a mansion that, I can't remember exactly where it is. I didn't read the description of the map, so I never really read that stuff. But the way this map is laid out is really different from how most maps in World War II are, which is actually really good. And basically all the combat really takes place inside the giant mansion, and obviously there's lanes that surround it, but most of the map is inside the mansion, and it's actually a very good flowing map with some pretty good flanking lanes. It's very much a 3-lane map, and you can very much notice it. But all in all, this map actually flows really well. So, and before I go on to the next one, I forgot to say that we're going to be getting the positives out of the way first for each map, and then we're going to go into my constructive criticism. So, yes. Anyways, Market Garden does stand as a pretty good map that I think is very welcome to all of the Call of Duty World War II maps, and I hope it's put into the rotation for anybody who has the DLC. So anyways, yeah, that's Market Garden. I'll resume the rest of the gameplay for you guys for this little gameplay, and then we'll be on to Monte Casino next. Alright, Stalingrad. This is my least favorite map of the whole DLC. I love the snow. I love how there's basically like a hanging slope basically of this map, because one of the lanes is underground. One of the left or right lanes is underground. The middle lane is obviously mid-ground, to where you're going in between these two facilities. I would actually say this is possibly a 5-lane map, because there's the underground part, there's the middle part, but there's this other ledge to where you could go up that. And so yeah, actually maybe a 4-lane map now that I really think about it. But and that there's the elevated area right next to the underground area. Then there's the middle part, which has these really obviously going to be camp heavy crevice, like real pits inside the sides of basically the ledges. And then there's the 4th lane where you go. You go to the top part of the map, and you go up a slope, and you can go down a slope. You can. It's a little kind of a winding thing, and you can fight in this scene, like around this giant circular like structure. Can't remember what it's called, but this map is not my favorite because there's a lot of ways to camp. Definitely a lot of ways to camp. There's a lot of ways to head glitch and hold down an area, especially with the new cavalry division. And yeah, again, this is one of my least favorite parts of the map, but I still welcome it to United Front because it definitely is not a bad map. I will say that much. Anyways, so I'm going to let this gameplay run out again, and then I'll be back to talk about Operation Supercharge. Alright, so Monte Cassino. Monte Cassino is possibly one of my very favorite maps in this whole DLC. It's a very solid map of a really nice third lane to where it's all really narrow, but it's technically a lane because you can flank it. You can still flank around the enemy, get to the middle of the map, but it's a good way to avoid people. But again, it's very narrow, so you got to be really careful because you can fall off the side. So, and obviously the middle lane takes up of a giant circle. Obviously they have a real big habit of doing something like that, like putting something into the middle of the map to where like everybody will fight. And obviously there's this really cool roof spot that you really wouldn't think of it to be a good spot, but it's actually really well thought out. So yeah, it flows really well. It is fantastic of a map. And obviously is really welcomed by me. So, but one of the gripes I have with this map is the ability to camp. There's a lot of spots where I can see people camping really hard. But other than that, this whole map is fantastic, and I definitely welcome it to the Call of Duty franchise. Now, obviously, going a lot out of order is the next map. We will be going up on Stalingrad, and yeah, so we'll move on to that. I'll let this gameplay roll out for a little bit longer, and we'll move on to Stalingrad. So, Operation Supercharge. Nothing too like crazy in this map, like kind of like how Operation Husky was. Operation Husky I did not like that well, but it wasn't anything too crazy. But Operation Supercharge, so basically you start with, you have to get 3 supply drops, like supply drops that they put into the map. You got to secure all 3 of those. If you don't secure one, they actually send down like 6 or 7, like in a 4-minute window that you have to capture them. And once you go into that, you have to blow up. You have to plant 4 bombs and blow up the legs of the bridges. You can see at the clip at the beginning, somebody got actually crushed by that. It was pretty funny, I will not lie. But yeah, that and then the next one, the next objective, you actually have to build 4 flags. And each flag that you build, you obviously do that one, then you move on to the one that's further away, then you move on to the one that's further away, and then there's the last one that you build. Once you build that one, I think that's when it ends. And there's a, honestly, kind of unpolished animation at the end of it that really concerned me big time. The animation at the beginning when you're attacking is actually very cool. And there's that little parachute drop at the beginning to where you can actually shoot people on the ground or shoot them out of the sky, which is actually pretty cool. So that's one of my favorite parts, is the beginning part, and then the blowing up the bridge is my favorite part as well. The flag part can be a little tedious. It's including, I think, would be the 3rd area. So the 3rd area is like, there's no cover next to the map, next to the flag. So you have to have like your whole team go at it. While the other team, they can obviously peek and look down on you, throw grenades and stuff. And obviously there's not that big of a range to go beyond like the building the flag. So that's my only gripes with the map. All in all, it's nothing too crazy. It's not boring. I think it's actually really good. And it's possibly one of my favorite DLC, like the war maps in all of this DLC, in all of DLC 3, or in all of the DLC season. So yeah, so that's all my reviews. All in all, this DLC for multiplayer is pretty solid. I did like every single map, some more than others. Obviously, if I had to rank them, it's kind of easy to rank them for me. But Operation Supercharge may be my favorite war map of all of them, which is fantastic. So, all in all, I would like to give the multiplayer map side of the United Front Call of Duty World War II DLC 3 a 9 out of 10. Some of them, like Operation Supercharge, it was some of the times it kind of did feel tedious to try to get to stuff. Stalingrad didn't flow as well as I thought it would. And yeah, Market Garden, it didn't flow as well as I thought it would either, but it's still a very solid map. It didn't bother me too much. Monte Cassino, there is a few things wrong, but it's nothing too like damaging. But anyways, now I want to move on to the last part while I have the chance, and this is going to be very brief. But I want to talk about the Cavalry Division. Honestly, I've been very frustrated with the Cavalry Division. With the Cavalry Division only, you get your primary replaced with a riot shield, and your secondary can be a primary weapon. Like you can have an SMG, assault rifle, shotgun, all that stuff. You can even have the option for melee pistol or rocket launcher, which is okay, and they all do not have attachments. You cannot add attachments. You can't even put in the basic training to have extra attachments. It doesn't work. Yeah, but I still feel like the Cavalry Division is a bit overpowered because of the actual ability to cap points faster whenever you do. Obviously, that's just it's not too much of a gripe with me, because I think that's really good for a division. Like, it can actually be of use. But what bothers me the most is the riot shield. So with the riot shield, there's not too many ways to counter it, except with a grenade or a score streak, or that's really about it. Or if you have the rushing ability, which is very hard to do, honestly. People can just jump over it, shoot you, and stuff like that. But most of the time, that guy is going to be untouched. So it's gonna be. It's obviously it's gonna. They wanted to take more strategy with this, and I'm all for that. But there's 3 things I would like to change. So number 1, there's actually a piece of glass on the shield. If you haven't seen it, there's actually a piece of glass on the shield, and I really wish after maybe a few shots the glass would break. That, or at least whoever has FMJ, if you have FMJ on your weapon, you should be able to shoot through at least the glass part of the shield, not be able to just not hit the shield at all. So that kind of bothers me, but that's really just it with that. So in my second change, I would like to see the riot shield be able to be replaced by a assault rifle or any other primary weapon, but only have the cavalry division be able to access and equip the riot shield. Obviously, the cavalry is very unique for the riot shield, so keep it like that, but also be able to have more customization, like being able to replace your riot shield with like a gun that can take attachments and stuff, and maybe take away the secondary, something like that. So that would be my second change I would like to see, and I would understand if they didn't, but I would like to see that happen. And for the last one, have the ability to take away, or actually just take away the lethals and only add the tactical. So obviously a cavalry is supposed to be kind of a supportive role, and yeah, so this cavalry is supposed to be a supportive role, and so making anything really lethal, like having a primary to back him up, is good enough. So possibly make it to where you take away the lethal, only keep the tactical, so he can be the one that pushes in and have his team back him up if they do communicate better. And the bonus thing, which is very frustrating me, big time, is when you bash the shield, it actually stuns the enemy player. So whenever you bash the player, it's almost impossible for that player to come back and kill you. I was able to do it 1 out of 10, like 1 out of 9 times, like 1 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10, I just get killed by either somebody or the same guy, and you know, it gets pretty frustrating. So I would say change that as well. So yeah, that's my cavalry feedback, and that's really all there is to this video. That's my review. Stay tuned for some Nazi zombies, the review of that. I'm currently trying to beat it. Oh my goodness, it's frustrating. It may be delayed if I can't get through every single one, because I do want to get gameplay for each part. And yeah, anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I do post a lot about this stuff. I barely do reviews because I'm honestly kind of bad at them. I never script my reviews. So yeah, anybody who stuck through this video, thank you so much. And to any devs watching this video, I hope you take those cavalry changes I requested and into consideration, and take the necessary changes, because I do think there is a few nerfs that this cavalry division could definitely take. So, and yeah, anyways, hope you guys, oh my god, anyways, I love you guys, goodbye.